Number 71 of the 90-day happiness challenge. Hopefully on your end, this is streaming okay. We're testing the limits of the LTE service in the area because I am broadcasting at 1080 with 60 frames a second. So hopefully that's what's happening right now for you. And it's not too choppy or anything. If it is, I apologize, and I'll probably do another one. But at least you might be able to hear what I'm saying. So, day number 71. Super fun. And this is just perfect. Right before I was going to go live, we were walking the neighborhoods, just on a walk in the Mayberry Park area near Chrissy Collin. And we saw a little puppy dog coming up at us and just being so friendly. And that's exactly what we needed to engage in the challenge today, in a way. So, much like previous times. Oh, here, babes, will you take him so he can sniff and I don't get pulled? Thanks. Much like in our previous challenges, we've been asked to step outside of ourselves and let go of limitations. We've had samplings of how to interact with people, and I've kind of talked about that a little bit. Now, the reason for today's part of our challenge is that as a human, we are social beings. And it is for our greatest and highest good to be connected to the world around us. So most of us, during our hero's journey, exploration and examination, have discovered that perhaps I need a little bit more social skills or something of that nature. So in every one of our hero journeys, we are going to be required to be able to connect with people and let go of any projections of how we think people are going to act. Partially because those projections, if we have any, good, says not choppy, good. If we have any projections, we are creating the world in which we are engaging in. So if I have projections that people are going to act in a negative way or not for my greatest and highest good, I will create a world in which I will experience those things. So today, we are going to practice bringing dignity to people again and leaving them with dignity. And this means on every single type of social interaction that we might experience. So whether we're at the store, whether we are walking our dogs, much like we just saw this so cute cattle dog, and her name was Lucy, and she was mixed with something, maybe like a whippet or something like that. She seemed like to have little thinner legs. She just came running up to us and was just like, hello, and the puppies got to say hello, and then my dog Tolkien could not leave them alone, and so I asked, is it okay if he says hi to you guys, because he just loves people? And so they agreed. I didn't approach because I'm not wearing a mask. I don't have COVID, and it's COVID times, but I was able to just say, hey, you guys thank you for being out here. Your dog is so pretty, it's so friendly, thank you for allowing this interaction. And they had a little girl there, so it was just a great interaction, super wonderful. And a lot of times, there might have been, these people may have experienced where their dog goes out and meets other people and they don't really like it. They get really upset or something like that. So they did have a lot of concern and were like, I'm so sorry, we didn't see him coming up to you. And we were just like, totally okay. We don't need to be dysregulated about this moment. We can totally embrace it with grace, kindness, goodness, and ease. So, our assignment, like I just said, is to walk in the world today and from now on in all forms of dignity. So allowing people a beautiful experience with you, both when you greet them and when you leave them. So this might be asking us to step outside of our norm of how we interact in the world, how we interact with people or the relations that we see. So by this, I also mean to act with dignity with the plant life you encounter, the inanimate objects, like everything. Just treat everything as if it's a complete sovereign being that is free to, or that is deserving of the experiences of joy and all the causes of joy, and doesn't need to have the experiences of suffering or have any causes of suffering. Struggle is a different thing. Struggle and growth are things that we need to continue to allow us to continue our hero journey. But in the face that we don't have to struggle, we don't have to suffer through these things. So understanding that in every situation I am in, I'm going to operate from a space of dignity. And you can take that word and apply it to apply it how you want to. Maybe you have a different verbiage besides dignity. I love that one because it means I'm going to have the utmost respect, and I'm going to try to treat people with joy, kindness, with love even. I could say that. And so that's how I'm going to approach people. Now, I want to touch on one aspect of, how do I say this? One aspect of socialization that we've often adopted, and a lot of times without the fullest extent of information. Oh, I have doggy hair on my thing. Without the fullest extent of understanding what it means. And this is kind of prevalent within the U.S. society. So it's part of our society's projection, part of our shadow. And this would be our understanding of what it means to be introverted and extroverted. So a lot of us may be like, oh, I'm introverted, so I can't go do these things. Or I'm extroverted, so I can't go within. Well, those are what science is more or less showing us is that those people who we tend to see as introverted or extroverted, you can actually measure differences in their brain chemistry and their physiology. And when they've done studies, and this is just quickly going over Wikipedia, so I recommend you want to look up introversion and extroversion, go to Wikipedia and figure out what that really means for you, because there's many different examples and then some of the studies there too. So anyway, within these examples, we were able to discover that apparently introverted people have a little bit more blood flow to certain types of the brain, or parts of your brain, that allow you to go within more. And then there are extroverted people who have a little bit more flow toward the areas that allow them to not need to think as much. And that doesn't say that the quality of the information or interaction coming out is any better. That just means that they don't do it as much. So when we look at our past challenges, and we've started to understand that the brain is completely malleable, with knowing that we can engage with neuroplasticity, and we're doing that with the compassionate mindful meditations, but knowing that neuroplasticity is a thing means that if we were to choose to act in a different way, our bodies would react and they would catch up. They would modify. Pretty powerful. And so what would end up happening is that you would start to develop those parts of your brain that you didn't think you were using, or that were causing you to do an inward focus of life. If you're prescribing to be introverted and think you can't have outward going experiences. If you're extroverted and you think that you can't go within, just practicing that, practicing going on the inside, creates your neurochemical bridges and everything that allow you to do this. Yes. We have a passerby. Hello. Oh, you're so beautiful. Hey, good to see you. Fist bump. I love it. So, again, super beautiful interaction. So everybody that we're going to come across, we're going to really try to treat them with respect, kindness, and dignity. And understand that if you feel like you're limited on your ability to do that, it's far more likely that you have just decided to, can we get out? Oh, yay, we have an open gate. Good. Oh, we've made a full circle. That's cool. I've never been on this path. So, when we are saying that I am only extroverted or only introverted, and we kind of go to that one scale, well, chances are the reality is that you're ambiverted. Or that you're far more ambiverted, which means you can experience both, than you are one or the other. Sometimes we just get projected into being one of those things. So, or we get pushed into a box. So if you think that you can't go out in the world and experience socialization, or you can't go to parties and things, chances are you're actually just more shy. You're suffering from shyness rather than you are any part of your personality being introverted or extroverted. Chances are, if you're extroverted and you say that I don't know how to have meaningful introspection, or those talks about maybe intimate talks with somebody who's far more feeling oriented, chances are You actually just haven't developed that part of yourself yet. So we can free ourselves from the limitations of where we thought we were, okay, or who we thought we were defining ourselves as. And isn't that kind of beautiful? Like, to be free from the projections of society, from putting us into a mold. I'm not going to prescribe anymore to being introverted or extroverted. I'm just going to do. And if it feels like I need to do something in the moment, like my belly is calling me, my intuition, I'm going to do that. So, freeing ourselves from that. So, everybody you see today, if you have the ability, go ahead and make contact. Say hello, beautiful day, whatever it is. If you can come up with something else to say that's super awesome, is like, thanks for this interaction. I really enjoyed it. Saying something like that actually allows people to break out of their shell, and they're like, oh, this was a fun interaction. So it allows them to experience the more meaning in the moment too. So, tackle one more thing, and then I'll let you guys go. Let's say we cross somebody who doesn't want to talk, okay, but we still want to just like give our presence. Make all of your ability to make, perform, or how do I say, do everything you can to make eye contact. And that just means in a comfortable way, because we don't want to make them feel undignified, right? So it's just going to be smiling maybe, nodding your head, making sure that you're really paying attention to them and honoring them in their space. In addition, saying hello, using your voice. Even if they don't hear you, it's totally okay, no big deal. If it feels awkward, for some whatever moment, like they just totally look the other way, that's okay. Just send them love. Just like send them from love from your heart space. Imagine connecting heart to heart, and you're good. You're golden. That's all you got to do. So allowing people the ability to experience themselves, even if they're shy, is okay. So go ahead and share your experience for the day, making sure that you greet everybody with dignity and kindness, and to the best of your ability. Of course, we don't need to say hello to all 100 people in a crowd. We can just constantly just be like, hey, how you doing? If your eyes meet, hey, good to meet you, good to see you, hi, beautiful, thanks for coming out, whatever it is. Thanks for brightening this evening, thanks for brightening this day. Last thing before I go on, I can't see my finger, last thing, is this also applies to being online. Yes, everything you see on there, always comment with respect and dignity. Interact with respect and dignity. There is no more separation. There's no more times to prosecute somebody. All of those things are lower vibrational acts. We can hold our ground and request that we be treated differently, but we will always be leaving people with dignity. So we don't ever incite shame. We don't ever make people feel smaller, like on purpose. We, of course, can't be in control of how people feel naturally on the inside, especially when people are hurt. But if we notice somebody is hurt and suffering, perhaps they're lashing out, it's okay to say, I recognize your pain, or to say, that really doesn't resonate with me too much, but I respect your opinion. Thanks for having this conversation. Done. You don't have to react to anything that's, maybe somebody's trying to put you down or whatever. You just don't react to it. Completely change the subject. The ball is in your court. You don't have to be regulated, or don't have to be, your emotions don't have to be in control of you. You're in control of you. So, share your experience with today by sharing the video and using the hashtag 90-Day Happiness Challenge, tagging me, Matthew Embry McLean, Shamanic Happiness Coach. Yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have fun. If you need to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Social media, phone number, of course, 775-800-4271, or email, Matthew@shamanichappinesscoach.com.